The Cowboys owner said, quote, the fact that he did not have a Super Bowl during that time is always going to be in the conversation as to where Tony Romo will rank. You're talking to a guy that would be a first-round ballot with me, and I don't apologize for that. So, Shannon, you've got a gold jacket. Is Tony Romo a Hall of Famer?
Skip, a lot of times in a situation like this, you know I hate even commenting on this because the headline is going to say, Hall of Famer, undisputed co-host says such and such shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I wouldn't normally, even if I was at the barbershop, I wouldn't even dignify this with a conversation. Somebody saying Tony Romo is a Hall of Famer. But this is a show. We debate and we talk about topics a lot of times that sometimes people don't talk about in the barbershop.
The owner of the Dallas Cowboys said first ballot Hall of Fame.
The owner of the Cowboys is out of his mind.
Mm-hmm.
The only way Tony Romo's getting to the Hall of Fame is he buy a ticket. Now, if one of his teammates go, I don't know if he had Jason Witten. He's going to get close. Jason Witten's going to the Hall of Fame. Jason Witten's going to invite him. He'll get close. Skip, how? Because he's the quarterback for the Cowboys? The guy won 2 playoff games. No Super Bowl. I mean, in his era, Brady, Favre, Manning, Rodgers, Breeze, Roethlisberger, even Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers. How? What scenario does Jerry look at and say, you know what? Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. It's not the Hall of Fame because I played for the Cowboys. It's not the Hall of Very Good.
No.
It's the Hall of Fame. It's greatness. Could the story of the NFL be told without these guys that's in there? Man, Jerry, come on, man. Stop this. We got to stop thinking somebody had a good year or somebody played on a popular team. They deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. No, hell no.
What does it tell you about the owner of the Dallas Cowboys? Why would he say this? Tony was like a son to him.
Yeah.
What's his biggest frustration, says Jerry Jones, his one regret about his whole career?
He didn't win a Super Bowl with Tony.
Tony Romo. What does it tell you about Jerry's feelings about his current quarterback? If I'm the current quarterback, I don't love that he's saying...
Yeah, well, you talking about that guy's a Hall of Fame. Really? I beat the job. He was so good, he didn't get his job back.
And I was a rookie 4th-round pick.
Thank you.
Right? And I beat him out. And once upon a time, Tony Romo was undrafted out of Eastern Illinois, right? So... let me say this, as a lifelong Cowboy fan, Tony Romo is was the most frustrating, maddening quarterback I ever tried to root for. Because I promise you, he had some Hall of Fame stretches, Hall of Fame flashes. He was the comeback kid. He had 24 fourth-quarter comebacks and 24 game-winning drives. Pretty high on the all-time list. But he could also, when you least expect it, turn into a choking dog. And yet, that one year in 2014, he led this league in completion percentage and led it in QBR and capped it off, I thought, with a win over Aaron Rodgers back in his home state of Wisconsin at Green Bay in a playoff game. And on 4th down, it was 4th and 2. Remember the throw that he made to Des Bryant? There it is. He caught it and he scored with it. He caught it and he scored with it. And if this is just classic bad luck Romo, because the ref, he raises his arms. He's right on the spot. Touchdown, he signals. And they overturn it and cost the Cowboys this game that they should have won. They could have gone on to Seattle to play the NFC Championship game against a Seattle. They had beaten that Seattle that regular season.
That don't mean nothing.
Well, it might have meant Super Bowl, here we come.
New Orleans beat Tampa twice.
Would that not have made Tony Romo a made man?
Yeah.
Yet there was 2012, he led the league in interceptions, and he made 4 Pro Bowls, and he was known as a tough guy who could be so fragile. How many times did he break his collarbone? About 16 times, right? And yet, how did his career start off? When did I first really lock in on Tony Romo? He's in Seattle at a playoff game, and he bobbles the snap. It's a chip shot field goal to win the game at the end of the game, and whoops.
That should have foreshadowed things to come.
It was Tony, Tony, oh no. There he is. Whoops, I'll run this in. He really couldn't run. He had good, quick...
Babineau caught him from the back.
He did. He caught him from the back, really. And yet, the all-time classic Tony Romo game was when he threw for 506 yards against your Denver Broncos back in 2013. The final score was 51-48 because after Tony Romo had thrown 5 touchdown passes and no interceptions, we get down to the bitter end of the game, and all of a sudden he gets sacked on the first play, and on 2nd and long, he throws it to the wrong team. He throws it to Danny Trevathan. What are you doing, Tony? No! And he gives Peyton a chip shot field goal to walk off 51-48. one of the great performances you'll ever see
Got wasted.
got wasted. With one
And
of
he had DeMarco Murray right there in front of him, Skip. Watch DeMarco Murray. Look at DeMarco Murray, Skip. Look at DeMarco Murray.
I know he went blind. He just went blind. I don't know. I couldn't sum up his career. He threw for 506 and 5 touchdowns against your Denver Broncos and lost 51-48 because that's pretty much the story of his career.
Skip, the guy he won 2 playoff games in what, 10, 11 years?
Yep. And one of them was controversial because against Detroit at home, they got a call. That was
they
like,
did.
Whoa. And then remember, they beat Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid the last game of the regular season and turned right around and got him in a home playoff game and beat him a second time.
But Skip, Donovan McNabb has a more compelling case for the Hall of Fame than Tony Romo.
Yep.
At least D-Mac went to a Super Bowl. He won multiple playoff games. If Tony Romo did not play for the Cowboys, had the exact same career for somebody other than the Cowboys, this would not even be a discussion. This would not even be a topic.
Okay, but trust me, there were games, there were stretches when you said, wow, that guy is something.
Yeah, Skip, there have been a lot of guys, but Skip, look at all the guys in his era. Russell Wilson, you still got both the Mannings, Rodgers, Breeze.
Well,
Favre.
Jerry Jones is a Hall of Famer just like you, and he says, come on down.
But stop.
Right?
Stop.
Well, at least he's having a strong broadcasting career.
Yeah, he might go,
Moving
yes.
on, is
Hall of
Mac
Fame.
Jones not even the best rookie on the Patriots? Don't go anywhere.
Yards per game have declined every year, down to 65 yards from 109 as a rookie.
Oh, so 44, is that a precipitous drop?
I'd say that's a precipitous drop.
Okay.
But I'm seeing a different Zeke in every way, shape, and form in training camp because clearly he got him a nutritionist, even though I saw him eating a little candy in one of the meetings. I'm okay with that. You can cheat every once in a while because he looks 100% better than he looked last year. He looks like sleek Zeke. He finally got it. Is it too late in your NFL life to get it the way you got it early on, where you just got it? You are what you eat.
Correct.
In the end, you just are.
Right.
You are how you train, but in the beginning, you can't overcome what you eat.
Yeah,
You can't
cannot exercise the
out-train
man.
what you eat. You cannot.
You can't do it.
Agree with that. Like back in my maniac running days, I used to think, I can pig out, I can eat anything. Trust me. I was averaging, for one of the marathons, I was averaging 12 miles a day, and then on Sunday, 20 miles.
Right.
And I was eating Mexican food and ice cream and eating everything, and I was gaining weight.
Yeah.
I was gaining body fat.
Right.
I was much heavier than I am right now because you can't run it off.
Right.
So the point is, your nutritionist is the key to the rest of your NFL life. And he did that, and he lost his double chin. You know, he looks like a running back
now. He does look better, Skip.
And I showed you the video, the NFL Films video. I know it was just practice. I know they weren't really even tackling. It was against each other, you know, but he looked explosive the way he looked in his first couple of years. So now I'm reading my friend Dan Graziano on ESPN.com, and his quote was, is in a don't be surprised if prediction about the Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott bounces back. I've been saying it all year. And he said, what I'm hearing, yeah, it's easy to roll your eyes when you hear the same old, he's in much better shape stuff.
Yeah.
Get it? He said, I get it. But by all accounts, inside the Cowboys building where he has been, Ezekiel Elliott is motivated to put last season behind him. Well, during games, he's not playing, he's watching, but I'm seeing a different guy because he's kind of giddy, goofy, silly, happy. Zeke, just cutting up on the side, just acting a fool. That's what he's doing on the sideline.
Okay.
And it shakes me up. But last couple of years, he was gloomy, glowering, brooding Zeke. You know, during games, even in preseason games, his head was down. He just didn't look happy. I don't know what was going on, but he wasn't right.
Right.
Well, is this new Mr. Sunshine? Does that make him right? I don't know, but I'll take this over what I used to see, and I'll take that physique over what I used to see.
Yes, Kevin, he does look better. I said that when I first saw him. I was like, okay, he looks like a different Zeke. but he still has almost 1,500 carries on those legs.
Okay.
The offense is still going to be Dak throwing the ball to those 3 wide receivers. Tony Pollard is still going to cut into some of his catches. Touches, excuse me.
Well, both. I give you catches, too. Tony Pollard can flat out catch it. At Memphis, he caught it more than he ran it.
And you said that Tony Pollard looks like the more explosive of the 2 guys.
He just is. He's got a little lightning in him. I'm not saying he's electric, but he's got some lightning in him.
Correct.
He's got a little bit of burst breakaway to him. Okay, so it's a little thunder and lightning, but Zeke can catch it if he focuses.
Right.
And you remember what happened as a rookie at Pittsburgh, remember?
He had 80-yarder screen.
Lord have mercy.
I'm glad we ain't got that.
Whew.
No, we ain't got it. No, don't.
One of these days, we'll go back. You know what? He doesn't deserve for us to